Hey guys, bathroom mold removal is one of the biggest topics that we get all the time. So in this video, we're going to go over some tips on how to remove mold from a bathroom, and we're going to give you some other tips as to what causes mold inside of a bathroom. Let's get right to it. Hey guys, my name is Jim Schulke and I'm Dave Schulke. We've been doing mold removal now for over 20 years. So we know a thing or two when it comes to bathroom mold. Now bathroom mold by far is one of the most frequent, consistent, ongoing battles in a home. Why? There's a lot of wetness going on here. There's moisture from dew point. There's leaks. A shower's being used all the time. So guys, the biggest thing in mold is just a byproduct of moisture. So like Dave said, there's so many factors in the creation and the growth of mold. So the number one thing is to figure out where the moisture source that's causing the mold in the first place. In this situation right here, we're dealing with an apartment building, so the person up above was using their toilet, it came down, and when they got home 24 hours later, this was the resulting damage. So in this case, we already know that it was coming from upstairs. That leak has been fixed completely. One of the biggest issues with mold in a bathroom though is dew point. In this bathroom, there's absolutely no fan or exhaust. So really be careful with that. If you have little black surface dots, that's caused by dew point, which is basically sweating inside of a bathroom. Lack of ventilation. There you go. The steam is going to be lingering on the surface and you're going to start getting those black little dots here. Yep. The other type of mold that you'll see in a bathroom is in the tile and the grout around the caulking where the tile meets the tub or the shower pan. We're going to actually show you a video of a shower that we did that just had massive amounts of mold on the shower. But let's go ahead and let's deal with the first step, and that is mold removal of a leak that's coming from above or a leak that's inside of a wall. Yep. The very first step, guys, is a moisture meter. You want to identify any moisture, figure out how far the moisture has migrated in the wall cavity and the ceilings. As you can see right here, we have really, everything is pretty much dry. All right, so folks, if you've already determined that there's no moisture and everything is completely dry, then it does not need a dehumidifier or dry down equipment. You can skip that step. If you do determine that there's a lot of moisture inside the wall or on the surface, you do need a dehumidifier for at least 3 to 5 days to extract that excess moisture inside the substrates, inside of a wall or drywall area. Super important. So in this video, everything is completely dry. So let's go ahead and go to the next step. All right, guys, the very first step is you want to get your remediator to always cover the floor from the entryway to the work area, as we've done here. Along with immediately putting on the air scrubber with a pure HEPA filtration. This is really good because as you're disturbing the materials, any particulates in the air, this bad baby's going to pick it up. All right, guys, so because we've got sewage water, which we call a category 3, that's where the leak of sewage came from above and leaked all the way down, it's super important to remove all of the contaminated materials. So in order to do that properly, we're going to remove the toilet so we can open up all the way down to the tile floor. Guys, while they're getting set up, I wanted to talk a little bit, since we're in a bathroom, we get questioned all the time as well, is how do I get rid of mold, and is mold dangerous in the caulking? Well, look, if it's surface mold, you definitely can treat its surface with a good antimicrobial like the ones that we have up here, right? They're a stain removal and they eradicate the mold spores. But the best thing you guys can do is get a local handyman. A lot of times they have their, they've got access to these type of chemicals, but you want to take away all of that caulking, peel it all out, because once you have growth and you're constantly using bleach and it's coming back, that means that that caulking is fully compromised. It will always be a food source. So the best way is to strip it out and then apply a new strip of concrete like an acrylic. Let it dry 24 to 48 hours before you use the shower. Okay guys, so in a bathroom you want to use, because we're going to be doing a whole bathroom cleanse, not just the affected area. So that requires us to put in a door container. So we're going to take our plastic. So this is preparing for the plastic. You always want to use a blue tape rather than a duct tape, because when you remove it, all the paint can potentially peel off. The other thing too, guys, is that when you're doing demolition with a lot of mold, if you don't build this critical barrier, you're going to get all of the spores, all of the dust out into your home. So it's very important to build a critical barrier. Now I'm making these little tubes out of this sticky tape right here. And the reason why is this is what's going to really fasten the plastic and give you a nice tight seal right here. And what you want to do is just put it in the inside, not on the outside, in the inside, just like that. And we just do a few of them to support the plastic, so that way we can finish it off, and we'll show you what that looks like here. All right guys, I'm going to take a moment and answer a few emails that we get regarding bathroom mold removal. This is from Mary. Mary's asking, hey twins, do I have to test for mold before the removal? Well, that's a really good question, and not necessarily. If you see visible mold, you already know that you had a moisture event. There's no need to waste your money on a pre-test. Save that money for a post-test. So, meaning after the mold removal has been completely eradicated and done, use that money to post-test to make sure that that mold remediator has completely eradicated it and it's gone 100%. Good question, Mary. All right, I got another email here from Brian. Hey twins, I've got a small bathroom. How much does mold removal cost for a small bathroom? Well, that's one of the biggest questions and the most frequent questions we get. Now, really guys, depending on mold removal, what caused it, if it was sewage, how much dry down, how much walls, material, vanity, if we have to remove the tub, if the tile has to come out, all those, that type of scope dictates the cost of mold remediation. But you can expect on a high side for a large or a small bathroom for about $5,500 and as low as of about $600. So it's a big range, but that's what you can expect, and that's what we've charged over our 32 years of being in the business. All right, Melissa's asking, how long is the mold removal going to take? Well, mold removal in a bathroom, guys, can vary depending again on the scope. If it's a massive job where we got to rip out all 4 walls and the floor, or if it's just a smaller area, but you can expect an average between 2 to 5 days. All right, guys, another question we get is, what do mold professionals use to remove mold? Well, we use this Botanical HP. It's a mold stain removal. Amazing. Let's go apply it. Okay, so one of the most critical protocols when you're dealing with mold in a bathroom, especially when you're tearing stuff out or you're opening up tile, you have to install a negative air system, and that requires an air scrubber that's got a HEPA filtration. And then as you can see, we built a 6 mil tube and terminated it through a window. Now what that's going to do is, after you've done all your demo and all your cleaning and your vacuuming, the negative air pressure, the air scrubber, is going to pull the remaining particulates or dust to the outside. And this is required in order to provide post-testing to get a clearance of mold. So this by far is one of the most critical protocols that you can do. All right guys, we have our carpet for entry and exit, and we've got our critical barrier with our team inside getting prepared to bag and dispose and open up the wall.
now they're applying the antimicrobial to all the wood framing and the drywall. Let's go check it out. Now that they've applied the antimicrobial, it's time to thaw. Well, there you have it, guys. Hopefully this bathroom mold removal helped give you some good insight as to some of the steps and the processes.
And make sure you like and leave those comments. We love the feedback. And you know that little red button there at the left? Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And we'll see you on the next one.